Hi, this is Mitch Doan, and along with Jamie Richardson, we're your hosts of the Break-Thru Active podcast. We aim to deep dive into health and fitness that will help bring you a better understanding of topics that are of interest to you and can help you on your own journey. If you are enjoying the episodes, we'd love for you to leave us a rating on the platform you listen to your podcasts. Enough from me, sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Hello and welcome back to the Break-Thru Active podcast. Today I've got another guest on with me. I've got the lovely Anna from our Adamstown location. So thanks for coming on today, Anna.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
So what we're going to just be talking about today is a little bit more about Anna, wanting to find out a bit more about herself, about what she has done in the past with her exercise and her training, because I know she has got a bit of a history of that. And then what ended up bringing her into our network and why she got started with us, and how she's really killing it and crushing it since she started with us the last few months. So first of all, Anna, did you grow up in Newcastle, or are you from somewhere else?
I certainly did. I'm a Hamilton girl, and I was really lucky 6 years ago to be able to sort of buy back here in Hamilton. So I love that this is home. I've always said Hamilton's the centre of the universe. I feel that it certainly is.
It certainly is the centre of Newcastle. I feel like everything's like 10 minutes from Hamilton. It's a really good
and that's exactly right.
Not short of eateries there on Beaumont Street. I actually
and I'm within walking distance to the mall. So yeah.
I went out last night for dinner actually with my partner to downtown Beirut. Beirut. I'm not even sure how you. Yeah, it's Lebanese food, and it was delicious. Absolutely delicious.
I've had a few meals there, which is really nice. And as I said, the ability to be able to walk to those places, particularly in summer, not so much in winter, but I love it.
Very nice, very nice. So Newcastle girls. So you have family, kids?
I have kids. Well? I've got a 28-year-old son and who lives in Sydney, and a 24-year-old daughter who lives with me.
Okay. So you got rid of one of them?
I did. I know. I actually got rid of the other one, but she came back.
Oh, geez. She had it too good at home, no doubt.
I think so. Yeah. I think she quite enjoys my cooking.
Oh, there you go. That's the key. Or maybe it's not the key. If you want to get rid of your kids, you just can't be a good cook.
Is that what it is? Maybe.
Okay. So as it relates to your exercise and your training, we kind of came into contact with each other a few months ago here now. But prior to that, I know you were doing some of your own training elsewhere, and I still remember one of our very first conversations where you said, "Mitch, I'm all for doing weights, but I hate the cardio stuff. But I probably know that I need to do it. So as long as you you make sure I do it, I'll do it. But weights is what I really love." So not the first time I've heard that, mind you, but very interesting to hear it again. So tell me a little bit more about what you've done in the past with your exercise over the years.
Yeah, I've sort of been one of these people on and off, with exercise. Trained, probably about 8 or 9 years ago, I trained with a personal trainer and went through, a massive transformation. That's when my real love of weight training sort of came about. The guy that I trained with was super intense.
Yeah.
And, was sort of all about, sort of really pushing that. He was kind of one of those guys that stood in front of you and screamed at you. Yeah, well, it actually felt a bit like that, and although it was a bit scary at the time, it really pushed me to sort of be, sort of a lot better. And then, on and off though, I sort of then started doing walking and things like that. And probably about 18 months ago, I got into swimming, which I've never been a swimmer in my life. So I started with some fins in the water and, sort of kicking and doing that, and was really enjoying it. But between that and walking, I ended up, unfortunately, with a fairly nasty injury with my knee that I couldn't walk for quite a period of time. And that's when, sort of talk about, mental health and sort of the stuff. That's where I kind of went, oh, my God, is this going to be me from, the rest of my life? I'm 55 years old and I'm not ready to be old, not being able to sort of walk properly. So I got in contact with a guy that I knew who was an occupational therapist that did one-on-one training, and worked with him on really sort of rebuilding strength around the knee. And that's where it was sort of a lot of weight training, and which was great, from not being able to, sort of walk up a set of stairs without grabbing onto the railing and sort of with two hands and pull myself up. I can actually run back upstairs now, which is fantastic. But as you say, I enjoyed that. I loved that, but really wanted to look at, probably pushing myself back into that level of not feeling like an old woman. And that was really, really important to me, that I wanted to be able to sort of walk up a set of stairs and not feel like I was having to suck in air at the top of the stairs and things like that. So although I don't love that assault bike, I really don't.
you do, especially when it's nice and cold in the morning.
I tell myself when I get on it, obviously I need this.
If it's that hard, it must be good for you.
Exactly.
It's interesting because we have quite a lot of people in our program who similarly to you, they've had a bit of an injury, sometimes more severe than others, and obviously in your case it was quite serious to the point where you were having trouble getting around, and it just is interesting to see how priorities change as we do get a little bit older. When you're in your 20s and 30s, you feel like you're superhuman and nothing's ever going to get in the way. And then as we start to age a little, it gets to that point where something doesn't work the way that it used to work, and all you want to do is to be able to move well again and be able to move freely. And it's a conversation I have all the time, but we can take it for granted when we are in the really good pillar of health, and then when it gets taken away from us, it's really hard mentally, obviously really hard physically. But to your credit, you seeked out a professional and put in the hard yards to get that fixed to the point now where it seems like it's not even too much of an issue for you. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I was scared when I started. I spoke to Jamie first up and just sort of said to him, look, I'm sort of concerned, about sort of doing this stuff. And he's just going, oh, well, we can sort of take it slowly. And I went, oh, look, I'm kind of, squatting about 70 kilos with weights and that. And he goes, oh, Anna, if you're doing stuff like that, you're going to be fine. And I now realise, okay. But, I was scared. I was scared that I would actually go back to where I was 12 months ago.
Yeah. Well, it's a real concern, and especially when it is still fresh in your mind. And I think a big part of, rehabilitating from injuries is building up that confidence as well, because when you have been injured, your confidence gets shot to bits as well. And then, that whole recovery process, sometimes when you are in a controlled environment, you can feel confident, but then the thought of doing something outside of that can be a little bit scary. But I think the main thing is that you are able to function, without that thought in your mind as much. And, obviously you came to our program really strong, being able to, squat 70 kilos is very impressive to say the least. But, being able to get up and down stairs, a lot more easily without, any pain in your knee, or without feeling like you're gasping for air, and just being able to get by in your day-to-day duties without having to feel like that you're having to overcompensate for an injury or anything there. So it sounds like you owe a lot to that therapist. It sounds like he did a really great job with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it was sort of at that point when you were sort of looking for maybe a little bit of group training or something a little bit different. So what drew you to us in the first place, and what made you want to inquire?
Well, I am, a little bit of a Facebook tart. I love to sort of get on Facebook most days, and obviously conversations and that with the algorithms, it started coming up. A few different places sort of started coming up. And, one of them that I, looked at and sort of considered was around boxing. I'd always enjoyed boxing, and I thought, if I've got to do cardio, let me do something that
you're beating the crap out of something
and to enjoy. But I also knew that with that probably came some concerns around the type of environment that was sort of going to create in regards to the, back to that sort of really being pushed and with potential injuries, talk about speed and injuries and sort of things like that being pushed and maybe not being supported quite as well as I would have wanted.
Sure.
So it came up. I sent out the query, and then certainly the conversation there with Jamie, and I went, all right, I'll give it a go. I'll try it out for 1 month, and like seriously, at the probably the end of the second week, I went, no, like I want to be doing this every day, and you're messaging me going, yeah, maybe not, take it a bit slower. And I'm just going, yeah, but I really want to sort of do this. And you go, yeah, slow down just a little bit. It's okay. But anyway, I've just loved it. I've loved the group environment. Yeah. And that's what I get up for of a morning. Now I'm setting an alarm for 4:45 because I've decided to start on the 5:15 class, and it goes off and I just get straight up and just say, no, I want to go in. I want to see the people. I want to have a bit of a laugh and a chat as well.
Oh, good. Yeah. And there's a lot sort of to unpack there, but it was interesting. I still remember when you were coming or wanting to come every day, or I think 4 or 5 times a week. And I remember just very politely saying to you, I love the motivation. I love that you're really keen, but we just need to make sure we are not overdoing it there initially. And that's part of my job and our job as trainers, to encourage people to train more when we feel like they need it, but also to put the throttle, pull up the throttle a little bit when we feel like that they may be doing too much too soon. And given everything we sort of knew about you, we just felt like that we needed to pull the reins in a little bit. But to your credit, you took it very well and took it in your stride. And yeah, ever since then, obviously, as you've gotten a bit more familiar, your body's got a bit more used to it. We've kept it very consistent, and that hasn't really been an issue at all there. But you touched on the, getting up to see the people and to come in and have fun. And Leslie, who I had on a few weeks ago, said the exact same thing. And you guys have become really good friends, which has been really nice for me to see. But it obviously, the exercise and the training, like that's all part of it, of course, but it ends up being about so much more than that when you're around people that you like. So is this the first time you've done group training?
Yes. Yeah. So any time that I've sort of done it in the past, I tried classes, where it was more disciplined. Only ever did, 1 or 2 sort of tries with things like that, and it just wasn't my thing. But this is, I suppose, the all-round. It's the mixture of having sort of all-round, and I just found very different to what I had in the past, where in classes people tend to keep to themselves. This is, the encouragement has been, what's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Even this morning, sort of, on the bike, and I thought I was going to die after 3 minutes on the bike, just quietly, just it was intense, shaking sort of a fair bit, but it was just great, and this is a group of people that I've really only just started going, because I'm going early at class, and I go, oh, how'd you go, Anna? Oh, but that's awesome, that's fantastic. And I just went, wow, and I actually walked out of the gym this morning going, I feel really good about myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that's something that I would love to be able to take credit for that, but it really isn't anything. We don't tell people to be nice to other people or to support them. It's just the type of people that we attract. And I think when newer people come into the program, or you coming to a newer time slot like what you're doing, it's almost contagious to the point where you see other people doing it, and then you pass that on to other people who at times need a bit of extra encouragement. And if we ever do have people come in that aren't like that, then they probably aren't really a good fit for our type of program, because it is very social. Everyone supports one another. And as much as, it's all about the exercise and for yourself, it is also about helping the others around you. And, for you to be able to see that just from coming to a new time slot, that's really, it makes me really proud to know that, all the members are so supportive and encouraging for people that they don't know from Abara. So I think that's cool. And outside of the gym, I mean, as much as you do love it, I know, but I'm sure you have a bit of a life outside of the gym and outside of work and everything. So is there anything you like to do for fun on the weekends or through the week?
See, my Sunday afternoons are normally spent going out with friends, bands and dancing, and
Okay.
I like to finish off the weekend in a fun way. And we were actually talking about that at work, about sort of saying, oh, we'd like to have one rest night, of a weekend, and another one of going out. And I said, yep, Friday is normally my rest night. Saturday I like to go out, but then Sunday afternoon I just love, finishing it off, going to generally Adamstown Bowling Club,
Very
listening to a
nice.
band,
Yeah.
and and just having a bit of a dance when you feel like sort of having a bit of a dance, but just having some sort
Lovely.
of special times. And
Yeah.
it's
Good
always
fun.
an awesome way. I don't feel like all of a sudden I've started to count down, oh, it's going to be Monday soon. It's something to look forward to of an afternoon.
Gets
So
rid of the Sunday blues. That's for
that's
sure.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, Adamstown Bowling Club's become really popular the last, or probably the year or so. They all the live music and out the back, and it's the place to be. I think Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they got stuff. So yeah, what a
Yeah,
place.
well, I like to be part of the in crowd. So
Yeah, that's right. It's almost like you're a social person, Anna. I'm starting to get that vibe a little bit that you like
really,
being around. Don't know what it is. I could be wrong.
don't know. Yes.
We'll leave it there for today, Anna. But it was really really good of you to come on and make some time for me here, and nice to find out a little bit more about you and share that with everyone. But all in all, I'm really glad that you've been enjoying everything so far, and it's really great to have you a part of the gym and a part of the program.
Thank you.
All right.
Hope that I'll be there for a lot longer. I'm looking at those 300 visits and thinking, like how long can it possibly take me to get to that? I want a photo up on there.
Yeah, you're eyeing it off already. I love it.
Yeah.
You might need, you can always take some fresh photos as well. That's always something that people like to ask. So maybe after Sunday dancing, you've still got your makeup on Monday morning, you can take a fresh one there.
Would be much nicer.
Okay, well, thank you, Anna, and thank you everybody for listening, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Well, thanks, Mitch. So.
Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If there is a topic you'd like us to discuss that we haven't already, please make sure you reach out in Facebook Messenger and we'll do our best to cover it in the upcoming episodes. For those of you enjoying the podcast, we'd love for you to like, subscribe and leave us a rating. It really helps us grow and spread the good word. Hoping you're all having a great day, and we'll be sure to see you on the next one.